Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the career counseling course. So, career counseling course, we have already started and we have started discussing various career options. Lastly, we had discussed career with art options. So today I will revise that once again and then we'll start today's lesson. Just a second. So, what are the career options with art? So, we know as art is a vast subject. Now, art is not only related to painting. So, there are different kind of arts like singing is a art, dancing is a art, painting is a art, then pottery is an art. So, there are a lot of like different kind of arts are there. So, career in the art field are rewarding because it gives you a platform to express yourself and inspire others. So it's really a very challenging job option and it's very creative also. So if you are very much like interested in arts, you can obviously join. Now, what are the careers in the art field? So careers in the art field are follow two categories. The first type is the traditional art professionals who share their work in galleries and exchange their creations for a sum of money. And the second category is like who use their artistic eye to value a business. Unlike professional artists, these individuals often need a degree from a reputable institution to get hired. So there are so many institutions like there are art college, so you can get a degree from there. So after getting a degree, you can like you can be appointed as any gallery manager or something else uh, in any industry. Or there are some graphic designer also, like some people are working for the advertising agency. So in that case, also art is required. The modern art industry has gone through a systematic shift in recent years. Now there are a lot of options available. Now, what are the options in art? So we are discussing 10 careers like gallery manager. You can be appointed as a gallery manager. You can organize the staff's payroll, allocate resource, and deal with any operational issues. And then they also collaborate in planning, acquiring, and assembling, and cataloging and managing of art collections. So, as the gallery manager, you will be in charge of creating and maintaining art exhibitions to promote the arts on cultures in your region. So this is one kind of job you can apply for if you are interested in arts. Okay, now second one is art auctioneer. So an art auctioneer conducts evaluations and assessments of various art subjects. Now this includes determining the age, origin, quality, and condition. Using this information, they can accurately establish a starting price for a piece of art. So art auctioneer usually settles the auction for the art piece and they have to know the origin, age and quality and the condition of the art piece they are going to sell. So they basically work for auction house, gallery, estate, art auctions in other settings. While most jobs will not require a specific educational background, so it's important to show evidence of your expertise is relevant to your experience and reputable certification. Now, what is national average salary of a photographer? It is written in dollars. So, photographer is a like another option. Now, there is a craze for photography. So, if you are like if you have interest in photography, you can take this as your profession because for taking this as a profession you need to learn the editorial activities, and you need to know the techniques, and you should have some technical equipment to capture images and software tools to edit images. Now, photographers begin their career sometimes as assistants, setting up lights and arranging sets. So you don't need like that much formal qualification in this. So art teacher, now in some schools and colleges there are art teachers. So you can obviously go for it. So art teachers use their passion for art to inspire young people and develop budding talents. So you will need a teaching qualification to teach in a formal school or university. Now there are some artists to establish their own studio, and they host various workshops and teach different art techniques. So to be an effective art teacher, you need excellent communication and presentation skill. It's a job that requires a lot of responsibility but is extremely rewarding too. So art teacher is a very good job. So if you have the skills, if you have the uh, degree, then you can obviously go for it. So these are some options we discussed last day. So today we will discuss some different career options, careers related with public speaking. Just a second. Now, public speaking, we know that it's a vast area and there are a lot of public speaker nowadays. For public speaking, you need confidence, and you need to like research a lot while you are going for speaking in front of the public, because this online speaking and public speaking is two different things, because there you are facing a live audience and you may face some challenges, and there must be there like generally people get afraid of public speaking because they uh, like go through a lot of lack of confidence and they are afraid of it. So we have to who is going to speak in public, they have to practice a lot before going to the public, and if you have a good research on your topic you can easily go and talk. Now what are the options for careers with public? So public speaking is a valuable skill to have in the workplace. So although many jobs may require some level of public speaking, there are some that make public speaking a strong focus. So if you enjoy public speaking, you may want to consider a career where you will do a fair amount of it. So in this article, we share what public speaking is and discuss the important characteristics of public speakers and provide a list of jobs. So it's not mandatory while you are a public speaker, you have to talk in English. So it may be your mother tongue, okay? So there is artists who are public speakers also, but they are like not always they're coming live, but nowadays there are like online platforms, they're coming live there. So if you like that, if you like from your school life only you enjoy to become a public speaker. So you can go for it. Now let's see what are the career options. One student is the Devupita. Devupita, may I know you are from which university? Hello, Devupita. Hello. 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 Okay. Now, what are the important characteristics of a public speaker? Please go through the characteristics. What are the important characteristics? Effective communicator, instructional abilities, leadership, sales ability, negotiation tactics, interpersonal skill, ability to engage with the audience, active listener, organization, speech writing, creativity, confidence, knowledge about a certain subject, and passion. So you have to be a effective communicator. You should have some instructional ability. Then you should have the leadership because when you are speaking publicly, if you don't have the right authority, people will not believe you. Sales ability, why it is, I'm coming to that. Negotiation tactics, interpersonal skills, ability to engage with the audience, active listener, organization, speech writing, creativity, confidence, knowledge about a certain subject, and passion. Now, uh, while you are a public speaker, maybe you are a teacher, so you are representing to your students. So you need to be very much confident. You need to know your topic very much better. You need to do a lot of research on that. So for that, you should have one leadership quality. And suppose you are working for a like company, you are working as a marketing manager or someone. So then also you need to have the sales ability, like through your speaking, through your speech, people will get convinced to buy the product. So you have to convince them in that way. Okay. Now, what are the other qualities we saw? Negotiation tactics. So if you are dealing with the customer, then also you need public speaking. Interpersonal skills also you need. And passion, confidence, these are some like mandatory fields for this public speaker. The first option for public speaking job is tour guide. So you can get tour guides. So like generally we don't consider it is a mainstream job, but tour guide is there. This job is there. Now the tour guide, what is the primary duty of a tour guide? A tour guide is responsible for showing a group of people around a particular city, landmark, establishment, or other areas of interest. A tour guide plans their routes, gets to know the people in the group, and provides educational information to those on the trip. So while we go on such a trip, like any historical place, suppose Agra, so there you can see there are so many tour guides. Now they will tell you about the city, landmark, establishment, and other areas of interest. Obviously, they knows better. They know better because they are the like residents of that place. So if someone like if you know other language, then you can also choose tour guide because there are some foreign people comes to India who doesn't know English or our regional language. Then you can like deliver, you can give them information in their desired language. Now teacher, So you can be a teacher if you are a public speaker. So teacher is responsible for instructing a group of students, usually on a particular topic like math or social studies. They create lesson plans, administer tests, assign homework, and grade the students' work. A teacher may also host conference with parents and guardians so they can provide status updates to those responsible for the child. So teachers may also pick up tutoring jobs on the side. So teacher has to speak a lot in the class, and sometimes they also need to uh, interact with the guardian. So at that time, they need to give proper information about the child. So a teacher is not a good speaker, then he or she cannot give proper information. No, actor. So you can be an actor also. So you can go for acting if you speak very well, if you speak with confidence. So what is a primary duty for an actor? An actor is responsible for reading a script and communicating as their character in front of a group of people who may include directors, other actors, producers, and more. Their work tells a story to the audience and may appear in a play, on a television show, in a movie, or another medium. So an actor needs to read script and communicate with other character in a play or in a movie. So they have to be like good public speaker. Okay. Health educator. Now, what is health educator? Health educator, particularly one that works with the public, is responsible for teaching people groups about wellness. Now, they may look at wellness data from a specific population, organize in-person workshops to speak with them about health concerns. So there are some people who are health educator who needs to talk with people. Mm, so they have to convince people about their strategy. So at that time, they are also good public speaker. The broadcaster. So who are broadcasters? Please first read what is broadcaster. Now, broadcasters' primary duty is to report the news to an audience. So they usually speak into the camera to an audience at home, watching them on television. But there are also other members of a news set that will watch the broadcaster perform their job from behind the camera. So broadcaster may report on different types of stories, from breaking news to entertainment. They may produce a segment or conduct their broadcast from a public location. So what does a broadcaster do? Broadcaster report news to a particular audience, and they usually speak into the camera to an audience at home watching them on television. But there are also other members uh, who perform their job behind the camera. So a broadcaster may report on different types of stories, from breaking news to entertainment, and they may produce a segment or conduct their broadcast from public location. So you, like broadcaster means like news reporter, you can choose this job also. Mediator is responsible for being an unbiased third party in between two parties who are having a disagreement or need to help to arrive at a mutually beneficial solution to a problem. So mediator may evaluate the issue before them, speak with the parties to understand their needs and motivations, and get the two groups or individuals to discuss what would work best for all involved. Okay, now what is training specialist? So training specialist is responsible for teaching employees about a number of topics. They may teach about company values, new procedure, update software, other skills what are valuable, and they create curriculums and host classes. So they need to speak very well. Suppose you're working for a company and you need to train the new joinees. So at that time, you need to speak with more confidence so that they can understand. Okay. Purchasing manager. Now, what is purchasing manager? What are the duties? So, purchasing manager is responsible for securing vendors, goods or services for their company. They serve as a kind of salesperson for the company, and they serve as a kind of salesperson for the company so they can secure what they need. That's a good combination of quality and price. They may speak with vendors and suppliers, negotiate pricing and delivery responsibilities, and review the items they receive for quality. Okay, now pharmaceutical sales representative, they are also responsible for meeting with physicians. So like they are called medical representative actually. So they need to convince the doctor. So like about their product, about their medicines, so that the doctors will buy that and will use that. So they need to convince the doctor. They need to speak very well. Curator, what is curator? Curator is responsible for building a collection at an art gallery or museum. They find artwork that will fit well in the collection, design, and how they will set up all the artwork and develop ways to showcase. A curator may use audiovisual exhibitions and private events to do so. Now, associate professor, uh, like an associate professor is responsible for instructing students, and they need to teach student about one subject and about public speaking. So they also need to conduct conference workshop. So that time also they should have a proper speaking skill. Okay. Litigation attorney also needs this skill. So what are the job options we saw? Like most of them are like you can be tour guide, you can be teacher, actor, health educator, broadcaster, mediator, training specialist. So whatever job you are choosing, your interpersonal communication skill should be there. So you should have this communication skill, otherwise you cannot compete there. So this is very important. So now let's see one video and see how you have to communicate uh, with other people. I'm sharing my screen here. I think you can see
useful in
my screen.
school, at work, and if we want to convince a group of people. Investor Warren Buffett called it the most important skill we can learn to advance in a career. Here is a short Sprouts guide to master the most powerful weapon if we want to bring change to the world. The issue. Take an issue you really care about. When you study it, you are intrinsically motivated to learn about it more deeply and put in the extra effort. Later, it gives you the passion you need to inspire your audience. When we speak in public, passion is probably our most powerful force. It shines through our eyes and straight into the hearts of the audience. One simple message. Every issue has many angles which we can highlight, but the audience has a limited attention span and many other issues in life, so if we say too much, they will lose interest. To make a message stick, Chris Anderson recommends to boil it down to one idea that is worth spreading. A speech is good if it plants one creative seed in the heads of the audience. A seed can then grow into a sprout, which can change lives and be shared with others. Structure. Over 2,000 years ago, the Greek philosopher Aristotle established 3 simple rules to any good speech. Establish credibility, ethos. Give good arguments, logos. Conveying emotions, pathos. But you can also tell a personal story or present a problem and then offer a solution. Get help. A good method is using note cards. You can use one card per argument and keep the deck in your hands, alternating them as you speak. Politicians often read their speech from a teleprompter. Professionals often sell their ideas with the help of slides. When you have a product to show, demonstrate it. If you try to memorize your speech and you have 1 hour, spend 20 minutes studying and 40 minutes practicing reciting it. That's usually the best ratio. Speak their language. It doesn't matter what we say, it matters what they hear. According to Nerdwriter, Donald Trump speaks in a way that means any 4th grader can understand him. Guy Kawasaki recommends to use what he calls salient points. People don't want to know how large a battery is, they want to know how long they can use it. When you prepare, ask yourself, does my issue matter to this particular audience? Practice. Before you present, practice your delivery. It's important that we stand upright, arms open, palms out. We should speak loud and clear and make eye contact with our audience. One way to practice is to try speaking in front of friends who don't know the topic. Then you will see if they get your point. Alternatively, you could record and watch yourself on video. Check your stage. How big is the room? How many people will listen? Will you need a microphone? Professionals will want to walk onto the stage diagonally from the left back. Apparently, it's the most dynamic way to make an entrance. Also, always have a glass of water next to you, so you can take a sip whenever you're losing it. Don't be afraid. Everybody can experience speech anxiety, also known as glossophobia. It's natural and sometimes actually helps us to reach excellence. Mahatma Gandhi called it the awful strain of public speaking. For years it prevented him from speaking up even at friendly dinner parties. But in 1942, Gandhi convinced 60,000 people with his Quit India speech to join a peaceful revolt against British colonialism. He spoke up, the people followed his words, and the British left. Open for sympathy. When you enter the limelight, wait until you have everyone's full attention. Then open to win sympathy, a technique also called captatio benevolentiae. One way to do that is to excuse yourself. You can say, "You were a smart audience, so I don't really know what I can still tell you." Obama opened his 2008 speech in Berlin with the words, "I have to admit that I have developed a special place in my heart for the German people, and they loved it." Build curiosity. Once they like you, grab their attention by building curiosity. Present a fact, statistics, or a study, or start in the middle of a story. On my 5th birthday, my father started crying. It was the day he lost his job. Dhananjaya Hettiarachi.
Okay, so I think you understood how you need to go for public speaking. So there are some tricks we have discussed, like you may face the fear, but you can overcome it. You have to practice this, and you have to understand the audience emotion, and you have to connect with them. Otherwise you cannot do anything, like you cannot attract your audience. So these are some techniques you can follow. Okay, so we are actually at the end of today's class. We'll conclude the class here if you don't have any query. We'll meet again in the next class. Thank you so much.